Hi everybody, it's Katie. How are you? Happy brand new week. So I am a little sleep deprived. I don't think I was stressing out. Usually I don't sleep well if I stress out, but I don't feel like I was stressing out that much. But I wanted to come to you this week and in hopes of just offering some encouragement for your week, for your life journey. So I wanted to talk about anxious thoughts because, like I just said, sometimes that's what keeps me from sleeping well. And I know that I'm not the only one who deals with it. And, there are plenty of resources out there, but I hope mine is one of the voices that will bring you some peace and camaraderie and encouragement in this area. So over the past several months, life has been rather stressful in one way or another. And I've had to find ways to manage that stress and anxiety. And, part of it is like physiological as far as, I'm getting older and, body does what it wants to do. And so I process stress differently. And also just because of life events, sometimes we process that stress in a specific way. And some of the things that have been helping me that I wanted to share with you are the following. So managing anxiety and stress, I found that just breathing is super duper helpful. I mean, this is something that isn't, something that our body does automatically, but consciously taking deep breaths, I find is super helpful. It kind of recenters you. Box breathing, which is like breathing in for 4, holding it for 4, breathing out for 4, holding it for 4, and starting the cycle over again. So box breathing is a good way to just kind of regulate yourself when you're just not, when you can feel yourself kind of spinning inwardly or spiraling. And I think it's a good thing to do. Another method of breathing that I found super helpful is just taking a big breath and then holding it for however long I can hold it pretty comfortably, and then blowing it all out. Also, I think, we take breathing for granted, but deep breathing can really kind of help us to refocus and recenter. Also, counting or mindfulness, like noticing what's around you or counting something in your mind, can kind of help your brain, because you can't really focus on the anxious thing if your brain is focusing on something else. So counting backwards or counting the number of trees you see outside or cars or people or whatever can help. If you're at work, instead of eating lunch at your desk, or if your office has a cafeteria, instead of eating in the cafeteria, like go outside for a walk, eat outside if the weather permits, and go in your car and either open your windows or turn on the AC and just take a break from the office environment and people and the stress of work. That's a good way to kind of like come back to center and de-stress. And I think that, I think that sometimes we get so used to doing things in a certain way that we forget, oh wait, I have the option to go out and sit in my car at least, and just get a mental break from the work environment. Also, journaling is good if you're a journaler, and stream of consciousness journaling I find is really helpful when you have like a lot of things on your mind, and sometimes I honestly forget to do it, but it's basically when you write down whatever comes to your mind, and it doesn't have to flow in an organized manner. It doesn't have to, naturally segue into something else that makes sense with what you said before. You can just write down literally what comes in your mind. So for example, oh, I'm so tired today. Wow. And I'm hungry. That book that I read the other night was so good. And I think I'm going to recommend it to a friend of mine. Well, I guess I better get to this work, but I sure don't feel like it. So it's just literally writing down what comes to your minds, and the practice of actually writing it down on a piece of paper is in itself kind of calming, because it forces you to slow down and actually write out the words on paper. If you don't have time, you don't have paper, you can also do it in the Notes app on your phone, or if you'd rather speak what you're thinking, you have like a voice notes app on, most people have a voice notes app on their phones, I do believe. So that's another way you could go with it. And I just want to remind you that it's really, really important to de-stress. The world is stressful. Life just, has its natural stressors, and it's really important. And if you're someone who struggles more with anxious thoughts, it's, you have to purposely like employ certain methods or tools to help your mind and body to calm down. Because your mind, if your mind is always going, then it does affect your body. It does affect your heart rate. It does affect cortisol in your body, all those things. I'm not a doctor, but but these are things that are pretty common knowledge. So do what you have to do for yourself to bring yourself to a calmer place. Maybe that's like exercising, or watching something funny on TV, or watching silly videos, or the possibilities are endless. But make sure it's something that's healthy, that's not going to cause you more anxiety, that's going to help you calm, center, and refocus. And I just want to remind you that you're not alone. So hopefully some of these have helped, and I hope you have an amazing week ahead.